I think sometimes, especially for people just getting into the career, they have a hard time knowing where to start. What I want to do is give you kind of like a small little roadmap. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to give you a bunch of free resources that I have on my Plumbing Academy that you can rely upon that'll help you with some of these steps. You have to put a skilled trades resume together. A resume that kind of sheds light on you in a way that journey persons and companies that are in the skilled trades are going to look at it and go, okay, this is exactly what I need. 5 steps to kickstart your plumbing apprenticeship. Let's talk about it. Peeps, Kenny Molotov. Please check out MolotovPlumbingAcademy.com for courses that are specifically designed to help you succeed in your plumbing apprenticeship. Also, join our newsletter down below. That way you know when new courses are coming out on the Academy and also when there's new content on the YouTube channel. So I wanted to tackle this. 5 steps to kickstart your plumbing apprenticeship because I think sometimes, especially for people just getting into the career, they have a hard time knowing where to start. So what I want to do is give you kind of like a small little roadmap. And then at the end of this video, I'm also going to give you a bunch of free resources that I have on my Plumbing Academy that you can rely upon that'll help you with some of these steps, okay? So step number 1, the first way that you can kickstart your plumbing apprenticeship is A, get your resume in order. Now listen, not all resumes are the same. Some people are geniuses at resumes, some people suck. I fell into the second category. I had to seek help. I have a resume course on my academy. I'll talk about it briefly later. But what you have to put a skilled trades resume together. A resume that kind of sheds light on you in a way that journey persons and companies that are in the skilled trades are going to look at it and go, okay, this is exactly what I need. It's not the same as sending out a corporate resume. They don't coincide. They're not for the same thing. So you got to cater your resume specifically for the career that you're aiming for. And the resume, its job is to sell you as an individual. That's its sole purpose. It's to make sure that the companies know exactly who you are and exactly what you're bringing to the table. And it argues basically for you why you should get hired. And you got to put this document together and you're going to have to get ready to send it to 100 different companies before you hear anything back. But get that in order. That is most crucial. The second way that you can kickstart your plumbing career is look at your inner circle. Look at all your friends and now sit back and consider to yourself, are there any plumbers in your inner circle? Do any of your friends have a father, have a brother, have a sister, have a mother that is in the plumbing career? Because if so, that is the first place you got to go. You got to turn to your friend. You got to say, listen, can I talk to your dad briefly? I just want to see if I could join him for a side job. Or can I talk to your mom? I know she works at a plumbing company. Can I ask her if they're hiring? That sort of thing. You are at first trying to figure out who in your inner circle knows anything about plumbing, if they're affiliated in the career. That way you could pick their brain from time to time, but also maybe they can help you get their foot in the door. A great summer job, especially if you're just getting out of high school, a great summer job is to join one of these companies for minimum wage, but you start getting skills under your belt. You start getting hours under your belt. That is so crucial. And again, in Ontario, if you can prove those hours later on, they work towards your apprenticeship. If you keep those pay stubs, you can actually take it to the ministry and say, look, as a teenager, I did 40 hours with a plumbing company. They'll take that 40 hours and they'll put it towards that 9,000 hours that you need to put together. So a lot of times people start off in their inner circle and end up creating careers because of that. So that's what you got to keep in mind. You already have a rapport with these individuals. They already know who you are. They already know that you're trustworthy. So it's even easier to get your foot in the door. And it's even easier to start off by working a couple of weekends or helping them on a side job or even working a summer. Once you start doing that, it's just one step closer towards getting your foot in the door. And also now you have some real life experience you could put down on the resume. You see how that's working? Even though you're working for free, it's still very valuable experience. You know what I mean? It's still very valuable experience. And that experience you can use to your benefit. The third step that I want you to do to kickstart your plumbing career is this. I want you to find one company this month. Sometimes we are gridlocked by our choices and we get very uncomfortable about the idea of having to send a resume or having to call a company or this or that. Here's what I want you to do. Before you start anything, once your resume's in order, this is what I want you to do. I want you to find one company local to you that you don't know. One company and I want you to somehow get your resume. Find their email, send your resume. And let's say if you have already sent that email, I want you to level that up, progress this. I want you to call them. I want you to say, hey man, my name's Kenny. You know, I saw that you're a plumbing company. I really have been interested in getting into plumbing. I'm a first-year apprentice. I was just wondering, are you guys hiring by any chance? Find out. Start talking to them. Make sure they know your name, because you're going to follow that up in 3 months. Right? In 3 months, you're going to call them back and you're going to say, hey, listen, you know, I called you a little while ago. I was just wondering, is there any chances you have openings now? Or are there any side gigs that you need help with? Listen, if anything comes up, give me a call. I would love to be a helper in one of your jobs. That sort of thing. You're going to constantly try to progress it. But let's start with the first thing. Get your resume in order. Find one company. Okay? I know it's scary to approach companies. I know that anxiety around having to put yourself on the line, having to stand in front of people and basically say, here I am, in all my glory, here I am. But that's what it takes. That's a skill that's going to be beneficial for you through your entire life. And you got to develop it now, okay? It's not going to only be useful right now. It's going to be useful when you're a parent or when you're a husband or wife. It's going to be useful all throughout life. Sometimes you're going to have to learn just to stand there and take it on the chin. This is how you learn that. You learn that by putting yourself out there, even though it's scary. Find one company, get your resume in order, get that resume out to them. If you do that, then next month you're going to call them. And then after that, you're going to say, hey, you're going to ask them, hey, is it possible if I can drop off a resume in person, shake some hands, get to know you guys a little bit better? I'm curious to know what kind of plumbing you guys do, that sort of thing. Offer to come say hi. And then again, offer your services. Listen, I'd love to help out. That's what I want you to do. Find one company and do at least one of those things. The fourth thing that you can do to kickstart your plumbing career is gain knowledge. You're doing the right thing. You're watching this video, which means that you're interested in learning more. There are plenty of great YouTubers out there that are plumbers. Watch all their videos. Watch as much as you can, because we give you knowledge that's absolutely free to you. You just got to watch some ads at the beginning, sort of thing. But there are great resources and plumbers that are doing completely different things from one another. I do this sort of stuff, but when you watch my vlogs, I do a lot of service. There are plumbers out there that are doing new construction. Find out a little bit from everybody. Gain that knowledge. And then there are obviously resources that you can get, which are paid resources and just free resources, like on my academy, where you can get free courses and free knowledge. Find out if they have any of that stuff. The great thing about the free stuff is that you get to sit down and kind of figure out, do you like this person as a teacher, first of all? And second of all, is the content interesting to you? What if you take my plumbing crash course, for example, which is free, and you realize, this is kind of boring. I don't really like plumbing. You know, that's great. You got to figure that out before sinking $10,000 into a pre-apprenticeship program. And that's another idea. If you know you're dead set on plumbing, maybe there are colleges around you that offer pre-apprenticeship programs. If you look at my academy, I'm currently building a pre-apprenticeship program. So there are things out there to help you gain knowledge. And the more knowledge you have, the beefier your resume is going to be. And that's most important. It's got to be a heavy document. By the end of this, you have to have a resume where if you put it on somebody's desk, they have a hard time saying no to you. And the only way you do that is by having knowledge and having skill. And you do that by progressing, by pushing yourself, pushing your brain. And the fifth way to kickstart your plumbing career, again, kind of to touch upon the previous subjects, is you have to get skills, gain skills. And you do this either by getting hired or you do this by offering your services, okay? If you can't, for whatever reason, find a position in a plumbing company or a position with somebody in your inner circle where you help them out on side jobs or anything like that, find a skilled trades job. If you're doing landscaping, hell, the reason why is because I know landscaping's backbreaking. I know it's hard. And if I know that you've lasted 4 summers in a landscaping company, I'm laughing. I'm like, okay, this person obviously has the work ethic. They don't expect anything for free. There's not an entitlement around them. That's a big plus in your corner. If I look at your resume and I see landscaping company or snow shoveling removal, if I see that you're a farmhand or whatever, I know that you understand hard work. I know that you understand waking up early. I know you understand doing things that are uncomfortable. You have to get dirty in some of these jobs. Okay, bro, that's going to be a plus in your corner, because I know that's what's built into those careers. And that's what tradespeople and journey persons are looking for. We're looking for people that are going to stick to it. I do not need somebody to crumble under the most difficult circumstances in my career. I need somebody, even though they're uncomfortable, that's going to put on the tall boots and going to walk in that yucky water with me. That's what I need. And whoever you are, whatever package you come in, whatever, if you're able to do that, I'm hiring. You know what I mean? That's how that works. So before we sign off, Just a couple of resources that are going to be useful to you. Check out my free resume building course. It's a skilled trades resume course. Check it out on the Academy. I also have a plumbing crash course. I have a tools course that I'm offering for free. And then if those are good for you, you can also then look into the paid ones like my plumbing math course. I'm building that pre-apprenticeship course, that sort of thing. But those are some free resources that can help you along the way to help kickstart your career. Peeps, I hope this was useful to you. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below and that bell notification so you know exactly when we're getting videos. Smash that thumbs up. Share this with other plumbing apprentices or people that are trying to get into plumbing. And I'll see you plumbers very soon. Kenny Mullets off, guys. Peace, baby.